Clips, clips. Clips, clips.
Tonight at 11.
Doom! It's a plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning now! Excuse me.
This is not the Infowars Nightly News, where the answer to 1984 is not $19.95 plus shipping and handling, but the answer is to try and understand the double-barrel bullcrap, the double-speak, and the Orwellian wonderland we now find ourselves in. So sit back and relax as I take you through a real alternative look at the news and so-called alternative media alike. Enjoy.
Clips, clips.
Remember, citizens, subscribe, hit the bell, and it will be all well. Alrighty, boob tubes, another one of Kip's Clips, and welcome to this week's the Infowars Nightly News, the original baby, the OG alternative look at the so-called alternative media. Skeptical, with spectacles, although technically they're sunglasses, but the so-called skeptics and watching, the motherfucking watchmen, no matter who they are. Welcome one and all. So hopefully you're getting through the corona madness. He's only going too corona crazy, as the rest of the world seems intent on doing just that. The madness doesn't stop, everything's polarised. Everything, from wearing a mask, to doing a jobby, to supporting football. It's all polarised, ripping us all apart, so in the evening one and all. So the biggest news to come out today in the UK is the Huawei bullshit. And I've been hitting this bullshit fucking home for over 2 years plus now. And for 2 years, everybody going mental, pointing to me to YouTube videos as evidence that 5G is going to kill us. When the writing was on the wall, if you could just see what was really going on in the world, and it was the Western intelligence agencies trying to kick out the Chinas, as there's been a ramp up on pressure economically, militarily, thank God I said that right, and in every sort of a way, shape and fashion you can against China. But no, some people are content, nailed their flag to the mast, and it's a new world order, direct energy weapon, Internet of Things, stuff that doesn't even make sense if you logically think about it, but hey, it sounds doom and gloom. But is it quite doom and gloom? It's geopolitical to and froing, as things are changing on a massive scale. And it's not that, I don't think it's that hard to analyse what's happening. The old large monopolies are getting challenged by newer, upcoming larger monopolies from other countries, and they're using the big motherfucking army that they bought and paid for 60 plus years and all the branches that military take, not just the guns, not just the ships, not just the planes, but the information war as well. And they're using every branch of that military industrial complex that all the big large Western, Anglo-American, Anglo-European corporations have built up. All that protection money that they paid for, they've now got the Don in charge, and he's now trying to hit home their military advantage before China catches up and the rest of the world catches up to an extent where they can actually challenge them. I mean, I think it's that obvious. I mean, what was it, about 4 or 5 years ago? No, it was longer than that. I think it was when I first got into the conspiracy game. You would hear a lot of people speaking about economics and talk about the BRICS emerging and the projections of the economies and stuff like that. Then you would get that magazine, The Economist, that everybody the mainstream media is liars, but when the Economist prints a picture, oh, it's telling subliminal messages. But the Economist were touching us all the time. The emerging economies and stuff, and how it was shifting the tides in the world. The emergence of China, the emergence of India, the emergence of Brazil, India. And also China's links into the direct links into the European Union. Bypassing a lot of the previous trade routes through the Pacific and Singapore, and there's a straits there. Anyway, it's one of the bottleneck waterways of the world where you typically want to be the military force in control there, because then you can dictate all the freight and stuff that goes through there. But with China's Belt and Road Initiative, right, and the clues in the name, it's not Belt, Road and Sea, it's Belt and Road. They're trying to shift the balance of trade through the water, which like the West's still getting nailed down right now. I know China's building up its navy and stuff, but it's nowhere near ready to compete with the America stroke the West right now. But their Belt and Road Initiative, they have to put the kibosh on that. And this is when you get this is where I see the divide, the economic divide between Europe, Britain and America, because China has got a direct railway line into East Germany now. They no longer need to use the Pacific and basically pay for America's protection on the sea, and that's where I see the friction between the European Union and the kind of British stroke Anglo-American old guard corporations. It's the world's the money of the world is shifting, and typically power will shift with it. In this period, I think that's what we're witnessing. And as I said, a lot of the old Anglo corporations have got a big, massive military industrial complex that they've bought and paid for lots of decades now, and they're using it. And they're putting as much pressure on China as they can. Trump's currency war, Trump's trade war, Huawei, the pressure on Huawei is part of that trade war, as well as sort of just the geopolitical control. Anyway, and Britain's ushered in Huawei and went, you know what? We're going to give you 33% or 35% of our network. Come on in. You know what? Send your engineers over. We'll watch very closely. Come on, help us build it up. You know, we've launched 5G over here in a few cities for a wee while, and we've got all China's stuff. And then we're like, oh, by the way, here, China's. See, we don't want you anymore, pal. Thanks for showing us how to set up the 5G network. Because the 5G network's going nowhere. It's the Chinas have helped us set it up, and now we've just kicked them out. I mean, and I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so, man. I couldn't have even more accurately predicted this if I wrote it myself. It's like Britain's going to suck China in. Thank you for the technology that we haven't got. And they'll see it's a bit like karma, because the kind of blame is China stealing a lot of economic, intellectual property and all that recently and stuff like that. So it's the way of the world, whether you agree with it or not. Anyway, so that's what's happened with Huawei, and you heard it here first. I think you only heard it here. I don't think anybody was talking about like what was really going on with Huawei. It was more like, Max Egan's real name isn't Max. You get hit with a direct energy weapon, pew 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 pew, and the Earth is flat. You know, like people's heads are in just different places. They don't know what actually any of this shit's really all about. I think 5G fears some sort of a like technocratic takeover with the New World Order lizard folk. When it's geopolitics. And I mean, the whole concept of the Five Eyes should tell you that your government is willing to propagandise you. But of course, you watch Infowars in the UK column, so you're above getting propagandised. But the concept of the Five Eyes is like countries can't spy on their own citizens, so they spy on other people's citizens and sell the information. It's the kind of concept behind it, you know. America got rid of the Smith-Mundt Act, which was the law preventing them to propagandise their own citizens. So it's going on, and to think that to think the Chinese Communist Party might not be running information war psyops through the interwebs, you'd be naive not to think that our governments are doing it to counter their narrative. And it's a war, and it's an info war for your mind. Anyway, but interesting times with what's happening with China, man. Thumb screws are getting turned, and it's kicking off everywhere. Kashmir's getting riled up. People in body bags, although I think it's just rocks and sticks. Sikkim as well. The South China Sea. Got some of this stuff in there. So stay tuned for that wee update. Anyway, so we'll have a good look what's on tonight's show. Say hi to the folk in the chat and then get on with the bullcrap. So call to buy my t-shirt, Tommy. Now, I've switched off the interwebs for about 5 days since last Tuesday. And I've only tuned in the last couple of days to put some stuff together for tonight. So, this is just all recent stuff. Last couple of days, catch up. Because apparently I was late to the game. I don't know, I seen somebody sent a link to me about Tommy and his hammer thing. When he met a Black Lives Matter guy, the guy had the hammer, but the video's been removed. I've not seen it. I don't know if anybody can update me on the gossip, because I have no idea. Anywho's. So we'll have a wee touch on update for some of the cult members of Tommy. The anti-Biden mob, as I said, it's not very many tonight, but it kind of ties in with something I've got here, which appear to. Oh my god, I've put it somewhere again. Oh no, I had a Tim Pool folder. Oh my god. And it's just, I'm just wondering whether the mask is if the mask hasn't slipped for anybody with regards to Tim Pool, and the run up to an election. It's the best time of year to see where propagandists are coming from. And this dude right now couldn't he be any more pro-Trump if he tried. And I've missed his what the hell have I done with his folder? Old Man Stone. Just know that. Anyway, oh no, hold on, there it's fucking there. Anti-Biden Pool. I'm the fool. So, touch on Tim Pool's relentless objective coverage of politics on the run-up to the election. And basically his politics goes a bit like, this is the general narrative that he's putting out. Trump is good. The mainstream media are all against Trump, not because he's bad, but because they're bad. And I'm independent. Oh, and I'm a left of central liberalist, old-fashioned liberal, or something like that. I don't think I don't know how long that narrative was going to work for him, to be honest. I don't think it should work any. I think it's blatantly obvious what the guy's doing. Anyway, I predict a riot. Some of the stuff put out there is just you're like, what? Everybody's getting provoked. I don't know, man. Sometimes you just want a wee bit of the easy life, don't you? You know, it's no fun constantly walking about just fucking arguing and fighting. It's no fun, I don't think. But anyway, we'll see some of the things that are provoking riots left, right and centre. Some of it's hilarious. We'll look at some fake news. You know, and the funny thing about this fake news is it's coming from the far right, who uses the meme fake news the most. But when they do it, we're no CNN, we can get away with it when they're just as bad. Different side, different side of the same coin. And then the NPCs, the gimp masks. I mean, when could the science behind wearing a mask during a pandemic ever be politicised to the extent where people are fighting with each other over it? Now, and Richie, if you're still in the chat, mate, if you want to get one of these, mate, you won't. I don't know if you'll be able to get one exactly like this, but just type in bandana. Get tons of bandanas. You probably get cooler ones than this. But this is actually quite funny where I got this, mate. This is a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas bandana. God only knows, it must be what, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 or something. And I got this for eBay. With my Grand Theft Auto. And Grand Theft Auto predicted the future, folks. They knew it come 2020, we would all need to walk about. Oh, well, you wouldn't need to walk about, but you could be walking about with your bandana on, man. I can't breathe with them on, no, man. I don't like humidity. It steams up my glasses and shit. I'm going to break law. But, Richie, that's where I got my bandana from, mate. But I find it hard that people can understand the relatively simplistic science of putting some sort of a barrier between people's mouths, like in hospitals, for example. I mean, we've all witnessed surgeons wearing masks for the exact same reason, by the way. The exact same reason. For years. Nobody's ever questioned the New World Order trying to do CIA torture tactics on surgeons and all that. And I don't know about you. See, if you're in a hospital and you're a surgeon and stuff, you might be hanging around with doctors. You might actually know the way of the virus and shit. You might be clued up in this stuff and know the undeniable, easily understandable science of putting some sort of a barrier between folks breathing in apparatuses and breathing out apparatuses, or your fucking your holes in your meat sack. You know, it's not that hard to get your head round, and to turn it into some sort of a like face burqa, New World Order mask, or some sort of a sign of submission or something like that. It's mental. And I don't know, it just, I don't like, what annoys me is I see it getting politicised, and then normal human beings, and you can't really blame either from each side, because they've been tuned to the moon with cleverly crafted shite spewed out with folks for political reasons, and then they're willing to go to the streets and supermarkets and fight with each other. I've got some examples of that shit in there. So anyway, so the NPC gimp masks, debacle. Old Man Stone. My favourite thing about Old Man Stone is when him and Alex Jones were sitting talking to Alexa, and Alexa would give them different answers to the same question, but haha, Alexa, you're changing your mind, I got you now. You know, completely bamboozled with an algorithm that can kinda sometimes understand what you're saying, and then Google search that, and then spew out some shite that might make sense. Might make sense to the question that it might have understood you saying. It's the eyes, the terror, John Connor's coming, man. Anyway, the war on China. Well, you can see the commonality between a lot of this stuff, right? I can anyway. A lot of the truth and industrial complex, if you trace the money and belief system, goes back to the Western military-industrial complex and fundamental Christianity. It's nobody ever wondered why all the big established talking heads, English and the English-speaking truth or industrial complex, all come from every military-industrial complex in the Western world. Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Austin. We've never wondered that. What's the Britain? Where's Brian Gerrish and all that sitting? It's the headquarters of the Navy, the old boys club, militarily speaking, in here in the UK. I forget where it is. Isn't it Dover? But forget where the UK columns sit now. But has nobody ever begged that question? Why there's like a ton of Americans sitting in Japan running podcasts? Nobody ever, not a bit strange? Why, with all these people in Canada? Canada's a big place. I don't know, is it hundreds of millions of people in Canada? I don't know the exact population of Canada. Hold on. I'm going to go against Old Man Stone. What is the population of Canada?
In 2019, the population of Canada was 37,589,262.
37 million. Right. But you would think out of 37 million people, if independently all these talking heads, naturally freedom fighters all came to the forefront in the independent media, you don't think they would all come from of 2 or 3 wee spaces in Canada? In the UK, you wouldn't think all the 66 million, more than Canada. You think out of all the talking heads in the UK, you would get some in the form of independence, and not everybody who has to worship at the monolith of Ike. You know? Nobody can go like that here. David Icke is a scam artist that's conning people out of their money for just that snake oil shit, or he's trying to change the country politically, and nobody's calling him out. It's allowed on any of the official podcasts and anything. But anyway, I'll get into that later. Then, of course, the 5G fear. But what I want to do is show you a wee timeline of how the 5G thing, and you'll see how when the Five Eyes declared war on China, sorry, Huawei, that's exactly when Max Egan had his epiphany coming back for Anarchapulco, when he declared war on 5G and how it was the Internet of Things and how that's the next new thing, that's the new war zone and all that. You know, he had this epiphany on his own back, because an old guy like that understands nobody's business how 5G works. And the anti-government investing. Oh, who's this? Oh, this is Max Egan, actually. This is Max Egan. Times are hard on the YouTubes, as we all know. The apocalypse really hitting home now. The Patreon apocalypse, the apocalypse 0.205, the many apocalypses that happens. And now David Icke and this guy are selling you investment companies. Spent all this time demonising the banks and the shape-shifting lizards that run the banks, and then want you to give your money to the fucking banks. It was bad enough when they were telling you that gold is better than money. I'm going to tell you my pal who believes this so much that will swap you gold for money. Run that through the fucking logic train. Right? Gold is better than money. Right? That's what they're telling you when they're selling you the gold. Right? If they believed that, they wouldn't swap gold for your money. Why? Because they would believe that gold is better than money. Fuck me. You know, it took me having to buy fucking gold on the back of fucking Alex Jones's loonballness for the penny he dropped. Maybe that's why I'm so bitter against that old prick, because I fell for one of his fucking scams. Get bit a dillion buying gold. Oh, get a real good price, man. A gold price always good. Oh, hold on. I've got fucking hardly any dough. I might fall in fucking hard times and need to get rid of this. Oh, when I need to sell it, I need to pay all sorts of fucking cunts all sorts of fucking money, and I'm going to lose money unless the price of gold about doubles. Boom! Lesson learned. Charlatans. Sell you gold for money, telling you gold is better than money, but we'll swap you gold for money. No logic. Doesn't make sense, folks. Doesn't make sense. When it don't make sense, it don't make sense. Anyway, Trafalgar Industrial Complex control of the satanic ritual abuse. Woo, woo. Right, this is how crazy I am, right? I believe the Trafalgar Industrial Complex is all branches of the military from GCHQ. Hello, Alex Thompson from UK Column. That guy's an independent reporter. Just so happens he's ex-GCHQ. Do you know who GCHQ is? That's the headquarters for the Five Eyes here in the UK. Just a little coincidence. And they were the one, and it was their arseholes who parroted the 5G shite. You know what I'm saying? Just a wee coincidence. Then you've got Brian Gerrish, ex-Navy. While they've based the UK Column in the heart of the old school Navy. Right? Now, then you've got Shara Poulton, and then you've got John Wedger, and then you've got all the pedo mob that ended up linking in through Andrew Ash into the Express and stuff. So there you have not only people from the military, GCHQ, you have people from the mainstream scumbag fucking Murdoch press. All controlling who's good, who's naughty, who's nice, and the alternative media that's all full of independent journalists. Oh my lord. And there's people that still fall for this trite. And it's not that hard to figure out, people. You just need to look at the people that are the official talking heads who all sucks each other's cocks and goes on each other's show and says what everything's allowed. Don't point out the scams they're running, where they come from. Ex-GCHQ, Alex Thompson, British nationalist, sitting in Netherlands. Cracks me up. Anyway, so we'll be looking at now. They're using the same tactics. So the Truth Industrial Complex is the information war of the British. The Truth Industrial Complex is the information warfare branch online of the military industrial complex. And in turn, they're using people from the old tabloid press to manipulate and to control narratives online. And if you've watched any of the PR programs and all that out there, some of the political dramas and stuff you get, the American ones, quite good. What you'll see is, when a crisis happens or a story comes out or somebody's saying something, you don't want to, you don't try and stop the story. What you want to do is try and get in front of it, control it, direct the narrative, who's saying what and what about who. And maybe I'm just uber skeptical, but unfortunately that's what I see in almost every bit of the purported independent media. Who there isn't one. It's all one big fucking cock shop. Anyway, I digress. Onwards. Peter Geddon to the max. And again, so now we've got the people who are allowed to talk about this stuff without getting trolled by fucking independent networks, organised networks, are now talking about satanic ritual abuse. Whereas anybody else talks about it, a private fucking Stasi creepy ass network try and run you offline. All sorts of tactics, false fucking defamation complaints, false this, false that, try to shut down your channel any way that in shape and form they can. Just by pointing out a few home truths. Anyway, onwards. The civil service superhero troll army. And as it transpires, they seem to be the window lickers that are getting controlled by the people at the top. The gremlins, they probably think they're fighting for good. And they don't understand that they've been go and attack this guy. For other reasons, but they think they're fighting. They think they're fighting the good. Something. They think they're doing something good by being lobotomized idiots for others. And who's bit of comedy to finish off? Who's insane now? A bit of competition out there, I think. I'm up there. I'm up there, but I think there's others that deserve a shot at the title. So we'll have a wee look at that. So anywho, onwards. Just float here for a minute in the meantime. Shit, I pushed the right buttons. And the evening, one of all, son of away. Cha in the evening, Cha, how you doing? Miss Spice, Stewie, Devon, the Highlander. In the evening, guys and girls. Stewie, Cha, and Richie. Richie, I showed you where I showed you my wee bandana, mate. If you go onto the Googles and put in bandana, you'll get 1,000,000 of one of these things. I think they're cheap as fuck. Don't know if you can get the Grand Theft Auto ones right enough, but you never know. So let's have a wee shift it, Tommy. Or Tommy's cool. Anyway, so I believe this was Paul Golden up in Crawley, down in Crawley. I have no idea where Crawley is. Let's have a wee. Oh no, north. It's up the north somewhere because one of the women said she was from Blackburn. But now, these people apply professional marketing to trying to propagate their message. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Jim Dawson, one of the leaders, will tell you this. And one of the professional marketing tactics that you'll see everywhere from professional sports, TV, politics, so on and so forth, is always try and present yourself as winning, having support, positive. You always see it in politics, you know somebody's down and getting defeated and they'll be up their life. We could win. Chemical Alley for the Iraq War was a good example as well. But
following you for years, Golden. How's Jada?
This is a bit of footage that isn't partly politically edited by Paul Golden, kind of showing artificial support or something. And you can clearly see the support that they can project online ain't there in reality.
I didn't say I was Labour. When did I say I was Labour? Did I say I was Labour? Golden?
Anyway, 2020. This must have been the political awakening Noam Chomsky was on about. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they were on about. Look, is this not everybody's political awakening?
Where's Jada?
Fat fucking Nazis getting shouted at in the street. Oh dear God. Parliament should be shaking on its boots, man. This revolution's coming.
Where's Jada?
You support the IRA, dear?
What, the IRA? Yeah. Do I look Irish?
Go home. You have a home.
Born in Blackburn, mate.
And your benefit at home. And your benefit.
Racist scum off our streets. Racist scum off our streets. Racist scum off our streets.
Racist scum!
Right, anyway, I think you kind of get the idea. Right, what was that? Victoria, ITNJ. I don't think I'm familiar with that channel. It kind of rings a bell. UK columns, Sasha Stone, all linked to 5G, anti-vaccine, etc. Most scamming and selling untested crap to consume. Well, Victoria, see what you say there? I would agree, and it's the two things I said very early on. It's fundamental Christians and the Western military-industrial complex who are the Five Eyes who have got it in for Huawei. Now, I'm not even saying it's bad that the fucking Five Eyes have got it in for Huawei. I mean, like, surely God, we've got to have a debate about whether you let China fucking put all the infrastructure into our country. Surely, I don't know, maybe I'm naive to think we could have had an honest debate. Maybe that's my naivete, you know. Maybe just as you grow brains and you actually understand how the world works, you understand you can't go around and ask people and nothing would get done. Because I'm certainly not saying, let China and all their 5G shit. I'm just saying this 5G fear that's been implanted through the conspiracy genre, which very much resonated me for a long time, is now becoming self-evident. This was part of an information warfare campaign by the Five Eyes. And then if you look at the genesis of all that fear online with the new cult of personalities that we've been given now that we know the TV lies to us, but the internet doesn't. That's all we are main players from the Control Truth and Pursuit complex. Anyway, here's Nick Griffin given the front of division between him, Jim Dawson, and Tommy Robinson. To bear in mind, Nick Griffin, Tommy Robinson, Paul Golden, and Jim Dawson were all members of the BMP at the exact same time. My conspiracy theory is they're part of one of the secret groups behind the BMP. You know, like, see the people behind the BMP? The BMP ain't their group. That's the name they give to their political party, right? Or one of their political parties. There's a behind-the-scenes group who are your Nick Griffins, Jim Dawsons, who are there to try and propagate their political ideologies. And they'll do this through any group. UKIP, BMP, YouTube. Anyway, let's this. So this is him talking about, remember Tommy Robinson was muscle for the BMP, or was brought in as muscle, the wee security guard in that picture that he's on, during the meeting Nick Griffin was at.
Videos of Tommy fighting, he's never been much of a football hooligan stuff and so on. Actually, if you've seen videos of Tommy fighting, he's never been much of a football hooligan. Couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag.
I don't know, man. I've thought always. I don't know if he's a wee guy, do you know what I mean? So I don't know, like, in a proper fight, but definitely trains. I don't mean just muscles and all that. He looks to me as if he knows how to throw a punch, but maybe I'm wrong.
Up in my feed from...
Right, I'm not going to watch all this. But I think this is Tommy Robinson's still trying to claw back some of the black football fans he lost support from when he done his Black Lives Matter stuff.
If I'm honest, I'm concerned over what's happened over the last 4 weeks in England, yeah? The racial divide, I think, the way it's going is dangerous. I saw your...
My God, man. The racial divide, the way it's going, is dangerous. This is one of the guys that I don't even think he would deny it. If you got him with a wee line in him and a couple of beers in him and no cameras on and speaking to him mano, he couldn't deny that he's been centre in front of this online explosion of far-right politics, the support of it and the discussion of it, to the extent where you've now got extreme far-right and just far-right light, you know? I'm not an Nazi, but... Anyway, the irony, and I'm not going to subject you to the 47 minutes. I'm not even going to subject myself to the 47 minutes of that. Maybe when I feel a bit stronger, but the cult of Tommy Robinson's still about. I'm not up to date. Maybe next week I will. Right. Now, I honestly just monitor this guy's channel for my own amusement. And it's amusing to me that this guy can even try and like project himself as a caricature that is anything other than a cheerleader for Trump. In the run-up to an election, this guy is clearly a bought and paid for propagandists by Roger Stone. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Tim Pool, like a lot of other of these alt-right clowns, are now going to get one-on-one interviews with Roger Stone. Watch this space. You know, that's how pyramid schemes work. That's how the networks work. You know, you come on his show, scratch his back, you grab some of his viewers. Your next video gets that X amount of viewers. That's how they structured the whole pyramid propaganda network on YouTube. And once you had a few main players that you may have built up their channels through bots and bullshit, so on and so forth, it then was self-funded. And then when YouTube understood what was happening, like, fuck, we're actually paying them to fucking bring the politics that we support down. This is crazy. And then they all, but oh, it's freedom of speech. But, I mean, Is it just me? Maybe I'm just in a parallel universe, right? But let's see. What's that? Mail-in voting is backfiring on Democrats. Just read the premise of all these titles and tell me that you can't see that it's pro-Trump. Trump just refused emergency request to pay for leftist riot damage. Leftists. They stinky. Oh. This is a guy who pretends he's left of centre. He pretends he's left of centre. What Trump may be secretly winning. Maybe he's hanging about with Charlie Sheen. More voter fraud exposed as the 2020 chaos begins. Now, this is another one of these, like, apply any logic and it doesn't make sense. And they run up to, would have been the 2016 election, him versus Hillary. You got, now, it does make sense if you understand how it motivates people, but if you don't understand that psychological effect, it might confuse you. So, the Trump campaigns, one of their techniques on the run-up to 2016 was not only to paint Hillary Clinton as death, like they're exactly doing to Joe Biden, painting him as a dribbling idiot that can't dress himself, but it was also to get people paranoid about voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud. Now, this is the psychological effect as I see it. I might be wrong. This is what I think this is part of. If you convince people that there's going to be voter fraud, you're more likely to get out and vote to counter that voter fraud. Right? Because I don't know if you know how elections work. You need to get people to vote for you. You need to mobilise people. You can't just people like you. You have to some sort of mobilise them some way to get out. That's why even if you're winning by a landslide, you still tell people to get out and vote, out and vote. You need to get people out and vote. And that's the technique. That's what I believe is going on with all this voter fraud shite. And there's Tim Pool doing the exact same thing, exact same MO as 4 years ago. So when I'm sitting up here and like calling him a Trump shill, I'm not doing it just because he's uses red and his thumbnails. It's because what I'm witnessing right now is the exact same electioneering tactics that got Trump elected 4 years ago getting propagated by all these independent YouTube channels. For Joe Rogan, again, left of centre, fucking Trump supporter, to Tim Pool. And what are the two main tactics? Voter fraud, you better get out and vote, they're going to commit voter fraud. Oh, that's it, Joe Biden's a dribbling vegetable. And now they've even rolled out Kanye West. Can he vote for Trump? Vote for Kanye, motherfucker. Anyway, so I just want to point at Tim Pool and how shamelessly shilling he is for Donald Trump. It's laughably shameless. But if you're late to the game, the penny dropped for me when this guy independently took money from Paul Joseph Watson to fly to Sweden to prove that Muslim refugee ghettos exist in Sweden when they don't. And it was part of the same shit that was get said about London. Bullshit. Get said about France. Bullshit. Just ghettos or housing schemes or areas where there's poverty. That's all it is. Anyway, I digress. Trump may be secretly winning. Anyway. Let's see if this gets you angry. Oh, this shit's getting me angry. Right, I think this was the best one. Because this is like collective idiocracy. This is just like, I can't, like, I'm not sure, well, I don't know if this channel's got a political leaning or whatnot, right? That's not the point. My point is like, how the hell do people from the same town, same relative area, same city, same country, breathing the same air, eating the same food and shit, end up this so polarised from each other to the extent where they're fighting in hardware store. That's a DI. That's B&Q in English.
You take a picture of me. Does that make you feel better? Why don't you get a life, lady?
Dude, I have a life.
No, and that's going around taking pictures of
Yes,
people?
because of what
I
you're
feel
doing.
so
Can you not
sorry
follow
for
the
you.
lines on the floor?
Keep your mouth running.
My lord, see if there was people in and around my area following people in supermarkets who were not obeying the one-way system. Chaos. It's mental. Right, this is how it works. I don't know if this is everywhere in the UK. Only where I'm at. Everybody obeys religiously the 2 metre thing, waiting to get into the supermarket. Then you get in the supermarket, nobody pretty much gives a fuck. Some people genuinely kinda, maybe, most of the time, walk in that direction. But not everybody. I went the other day, after it had been mandatory up here in Scotland to wear masks at the shop. And I forgot to take mines with me. And you know what happened? Nothing. I just went in, done my shopping, took my shit, and went home. If the guy at the door told me to go and get my mask before coming in, I went fair dues and went and got my mask and then came back. No way, shape or form would I ever participated in a monkey shit thrown in public over fucking politics of a mask.
Governor, the mayor is asking us all to wear a mask, and look at you, not wearing a mask.
Oh dear
I wear a
Lord,
mask
you
to
people
protect
have made
myself.
This shit so fucking political, it's unbelievable. Now you have accosted me in this store.
You've
it's not a
accosted me
law
when you
that I've
came
got
upon me
to
within
wear
6
a
feet
mask.
not wearing a mask.
And if you're gonna keep this up, maybe we'll get the police department
Hey,
in
Mom,
here.
why don't you call 911 then?
Yeah. Oh God, another one. You people.
He's fucking. These cunts popping out the woodwork. Where's the girl? Like, see in my head, I've got the Richard Attenborough and the thing and doing a wee voiceover like, this creature's not wearing a mask. Or the old guy that used to do the gangbanging videos. This gangbanger's not wearing a mask. He's trying to rob a liquor store.
People are like monkeys falling out of a tree.
No, you're the
Like monkeys falling out of a
monkey
tree.
that hasn't
Hey, I'll tell
dragging
you what,
those knuckles
y'all
that you've
can
not
lick my
evolved.
ass, okay? How's that grab you?
Ever heard of Darwinism, evolution, evolve, mister?
Why don't you burn something down?
Why don't you go back to where you
Why don't you
need to
go
evolve
tear a
from?
monument down or something, you know?
You must be the one who's...
Are you burning crosses? Are you burning crosses?
People are fucking idiots, man.
No, you're the idiot.
Yeah. Well, you're the ones playing your life on a freaking computer. You have no life.
It's not a
So
computer,
this is
it's a
what
cell
your
phone.
life
It's
is?
a cell phone.
Dude, I know.
Unbelievable.
Doing my shopping.
Unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
Yeah.
I bet you wouldn't wear...
Good luck with the virus.
See, in America, it's been the wearing or not wearing of a mask has been so politicised that this guy, now he could have, like myself, maybe forgot to bring it, but was completely on board of wearing a mask and went, fuck it, I'll try and go in, get my stuff, and go out, right? Don't think that's a major crime. I don't think that, like, I don't know, man. None of this behaviour, it's not like it's not acceptable or anything, it's just, what is it the kids say they do? It's cringe. It's cringeworthy, man. It's like, what the fuck? And we're all capable of acting like this, right? When we're sitting here all calm, cool and collective, you're like, wow, how can anybody act like this? But this shit's getting people so emotionally charged that it is allowing people to act like this. Let's stab in the dark that these human beings in this video, on a good day, are normal human beings. No, they're no fucking idiots. Causing fights over bullshit.
Good luck with the virus. Your whole family tree is getting cut off at its roots.
So this man's went all fucking Nazi on his, your family's gonna fucking die, you're never gonna fucking breed. It's mental how the good guys can sink to that level, isn't it?
That's fine. I really don't care because, see, I don't live my life on the computer. My friends, I know my friends. They're in a phone number in my phone, you know?
You know what? So are mine.
Yeah, the way you people act, you've got no friends because of the way you act.
Like, is there, like, this time, like, see when the chronicles are written about all the dumbasses that exist nowadays, it's going to film us all like that. You know, a woman's getting raped. Somebody's getting beat up. The sky is falling. Your mum's getting stabbed. It's so weird. So fucking weird. What a weird world we now stay in, where everybody's reaction to fucking everything is film it. It's so, I'll get other examples, it's just bizarreness.
No, we like to show people around, my friends, how people act at Walmart. Right here.
People act in Walmart.
I'd rather be a smart ass than a dumb one like you.
Let's hope. Let's see if we can find examples of normal Americans.
How y'all doing? Got a video here of some Black Lives Matter, black on black violence. In this video, you can see a younger black man.
It's left on right violence, isn't it? It's like racism has been politicised. And if you want proof and evidence of this, look at the fact that on the left and the right, you get black, brown, green, everything. You get everything right. You might get different ratios, but you get supporters of extreme left, extreme right, and every stupidity in between from every rainbow of the colour of the hue of human beings. Hue is colour, and we are humans. Colour mens. Anyway, right, so there's a black guy punching a black guy, and it kind of proves what? I don't know what it proves, but this guy's pro-right wing, and he proves Black Lives Matter are worse than him. Oh, God. I mean, you remember in high school, man, I used to, like, go in and, like, fucking, it was before mobile phones, and you would know that, like, somebody's phone number or something, you would go, for sex, call this number. 2020, this is this version, and it's that, like, I think the mayor participated in that shit. I'm pretty sure the mayor participated in that. There's no Blizzard. Bizarro or Blizzardiro or something like that. Can't remember that dude's name. Bill Bizarro. But he participated in writing that outside Trump Towers. And then like Trump supporters are participating in like counter graffiti and that shit. I mean, this is the way that adults, not even adults, politicians are behaving. It's mental. It's funny to watch, but it's unbelievable.
A chilling video of a police officer being held in a headlock has come to light after it was tweeted by the Sergeants Benevolent Association on July 12th. Two NYPD officers who attempted to disperse a crowd on a Bronx street corner on July 1st were quickly overwhelmed when bystanders began surrounding and taunting them.
Look, bro. Look, bro. Look, bro. What's up with you, bro?
The officers struggled with the arrest of a 31-year-old man who, according to the NYPD, had obstructed governmental administration. The man resisted the officers, who then pushed him to the ground.
What's up with you, bro?
You angry yet? Anyway, I predict the riot. I predict the riot. Let's have a look at some fake news. The rise of the right. I don't know if any of you will be able to spot the fake newsiness news part about this news. I shall point it out.
Fuck this nigga, man.
One punch, two punch, three punch. Woo, she's down.
Damn, yo.
Damn, yo. Right, the fake part of the fake newsiness of this, and it's quite. Oh, you know what? It's not surprising. It doesn't surprise me. It's disgusting. It is disgusting, but it doesn't surprise me the lengths that people who want to propagandise you will go to. Look at what happened to Andrew Ash. Literally scooped a windy licker up, stuck him in front of a camera, poked him with a stick and coerced them into saying whatever they wanted them to say to set people up and control things politically. Crazy days. It's what the lengths some people are willing to go to. You know, it's not until you witness this stuff, you're even on the receiving end of that stuff, till you believe it happens in the world, because you as a human being are like, fucking hell, could do lots of fucked up shit, but that, woo. But anyway, so the fake news part about this news is this must be for about 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I cannot remember. What I do know, let's see, is it going to admit where this is from? Project Against the Virus. Fund his channel, Rise of the Right. Cryptocurrency. My Twitter. So not, right? Now, I don't know whether you can understand my point here, where putting this video out right now as if this video happened yesterday or a week ago, because this has only been out in July the 11th, with no way, with no hint or sort of a inkling as to where it's from, what was happening there. It takes it out of context and adds his fuel to the flames of all the idiots wanting to rip shit apart right now. Now, I don't think this guy who's doing that is unaware of what I'm saying there. Hence the reason he's kind of hiding and not telling you where this video's originally from. Just taking it all out of context. Video for, that's possibly for about as much as 5 years ago. But put it out right here, right now. I wonder how many of all those other videos that are getting people's bumholes twitching are rehashed videos for the last 5 or 10 years. So right now, you're getting the last 5, 10 years of all the most crazy, brutal cop violence you could think of getting put on rhyme, rinse and repeat on the YouTubes right now. And this guy's obviously here to promote the benefits of being far right, including the title of the channel. And he's putting that out without any information. Probably even claim to be some sort of an independent reporter like Tommy Robinson. Just reporting the news. Well, mate, if you were reporting the news, you would report that is from like at least 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago and nothing to do with the current shit going on. And you're putting it out right now to serve a far right political purpose while pretending to be an independent reporter. Or something like that. Anyway. Onwards, let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the NPC gimp masks, man. What's this? Alright. No, this was great.
You just gone and done the dumbest thing.
I did enjoy this, man.
Truth bombs contained within this video are so powerful and threatening that the last time they were heard on the internet,
want to share that
it
shit.
took a supercomputer 35 minutes of frantic activity to shut it down. Foolish supercomputers. Didn't anyone tell them?
Can't stop the signal now.
I shared the link. You can go and watch it in its entirety. It's actually a good wee watch, man. It's entertaining and informative. If that's even a word. Now, what he's basically doing is he's debunking the claims from this crazy Republican guy over in America who thinks because he's a Republican senator, I don't know, he can like be batshit crazy and get away with it. And peddle all this mask politics.
To talk about oxygen deprivation and mask usage.
Again, oh my god, it's the CIA psyop, folks. They're trying to take away the oxygen from your face while face scanning you without the mask on. But I think they're putting cameras on the inside of the mask so you can scan them.
Oh, that sounds scary. How's what I'm sure medical advice.
But don't worry, he does a test, and
it's the only way to be.
He does a scientific test, So he's got a wee oxygen gauge thing out, which he's going to do a very scientific test. Oh, it's real. Actually, it's a real scientific thing. So what the hell is he going to do? Well, he's going to get his children out. And he's going to put the monitor underneath the mask. It's going to bleep and show you that there's less oxygen underneath the mask. Now, there's a reason this guy's a centre and not a scientist, because the guy isn't following any scientific principles or even like just the basic knowledge of like how we breathe and all that in this video, which apparently, which I found out with this video, both videos got took down. One of Thunderfoot's got took down, and one of the Senator one got took down as well, because it got flagged for being full of shite and encouraging people to follow craziness when at a time when during a pandemic people should listen to logic and not fairy stories. But anyway, this guy goes through scientifically debunking, and I won't spoil the ending, but it's a debunking video. the claim of you're getting less oxygen through a mask and all that kind of stuff, you know. It's some sort of a like new world order way of trying to suffocate the obedience into you or something. I don't know. But anyway, it still bamboozles me how masks have been so politicised. That's him talking about YouTube taking his video down.
If you look on the expanse of the internet, there are actually people out there who believe that wearing a mask to stop a virus is about as effective as wearing underwear to stop the spread of a fart. Look.
Well, that's a really good analogy. That is a good analogy. Right, mate, I'll give you an analogy. I'm going to fart in front of your face. I can give you two options. One, a fucking bare-faced fucking fart, me going full pelt, squeezing as much as I can. And one, when we're wearing a pair of fucking cloth pants, me still squeezing as hard as I can. I get a sneaky fucking option with one you would go for. And that's because of the clear principles on fucking display. Somebody farts in your face through underpants. Any shit projectiles that might come out their asshole, probably, not all of them mind you, because technically that's what you're smelling, will get caught in their pants. Whereas if you go bareback if I go bareback while I'm farting in your face, you're going to get a full-on fucking spray, mate. You better hope I've not had a bottle of Buckfast the night before, man. You may get watered down, right? So that's a brilliant analogy. Unfortunately, you didn't even investigate that analogy. You just thought it would be cool because you said a fucking fart. Oh, I don't know. See, this is where we disagree. That guy's analogy proves that you don't need a mask. To me, it proves that, hey, better than fucking nothing. Better than fucking nothing. If that stops one wee kernel of shite hitting me directly on that face when I need to take a fart in a face full pelt, then I'm all in a mask. Thank you very much. Science, baby. It's science. All you need is an asshole and a willing Andrew Ash to do the experiment on. And boom, baby, you're in the science game. And then, so, I'm putting it to you, High Impact Flex Team Wolf. Let's do this experiment. Put your money where your beard is. Right? If you don't believe that a cloth covering over a hole that is blowing out air is going to protect you in any way, shape or form, let me do a big watery one right in your fucking face. And I'll tell you what, I won't even date downwards, I'll date sideways. So it'll be like a mouth, you know? That's my kind of science, you know? See if Johnny Ball was about nowadays. Johnny Ball? How is Johnny Ball? Johnny Ball was about nowadays. That's the kind of science he'd be doing. So High Impact Flicks, I want to participate in your analogy and science experiment. But I don't think you'll take me up on it, unfortunately. Anyway, so there we go. Let's just listen to that once more. And apply the logic. This man thinks more you speak like Alex Jones and I don't know some way. You won't get throat cancer.
People out there who believe that wearing a mask to stop a virus is about as effective as wearing underwear to stop the spread of a fart. Look.
Underwear does stop the spread of a fart. That's like trying to say farting underneath the fucking covers. Doesn't he keep it in? Some can leak out, but sometimes it can just stay all in there. Anyway, break science down to farts, and then maybe people who don't think masks are worthwhile, maybe the fart analogy will work for them. Maybe we've found the level. Maybe that's the intellectual level of people that can't understand putting some form of like anything between you and a hole that's blowing out the way when there's a pandemic going about, and in a little way, at the very least, makes sense. You know, maybe all these perspex screens are some sort of a New World Order agenda as well. Don't know. Soon they will be.
Alright guys, I wanted to just make a quick rambly little video here to remind you to head on over to BitChute and subscribe to my channel over there. And the reason I'm highlighting this again, obviously, is because the bannings are now coming thick and fast. And I want you to understand that I'm not going to be surprised when it finally happens. Over the last number of years, I've gotten up every day and just checked if my YouTube channel is still there. That's always been my attitude.
Hello, YouTube.
Do I have a YouTube channel today? And there's times when you become more complacent than others. You feel a little bit more safe. I don't know why. You just kind of forget about it. You get on with your work and you just expect it to be there. But at the same time, in the back of your mind, you know that it's going to disappear at some point. And we're at a stage now where the left has accelerated the censorship, and they've just taken the gloves off over the last few months, especially during this current crisis. Anybody who speaks out about the Church of Woke and any left-wing narratives, you're in trouble. You're on borrowed time on mainstream platforms. Over the last number of weeks, we've seen American Renaissance.
I thought you were a alternative media.
E. Michael Jones, Iconoclast, Martin Sellner, Devin Tracy, Stefan Molyneux, and I believe yesterday, Roosh V. Removed from the platform to add to a very, very long list of content creators who don't toe the politically correct line also being removed.
It's not politically correct to tell you that viruses are real. And they could kill you.
That's going on a few years. You look back at Alex Jones, I think he was removed in 2018. Nothing's been done about it legally in the United States to combat this censorship. President Trump has talked about, he's monitoring the situation. He's been monitoring it for a long time. I don't think anything's going to happen there. I think we're on our own.
What do you want Trump to do? That Facebook, you need to let people on and say what I want them to say. And then moan about freedom. I mean, these people are deluded. I'm trying to remember what his mask bit was.
And that's C or RTE and suddenly start believing all the lies they know not to be true. So I really just want to put it's going to become a bit more of an echo chamber for a while. It's going to be a little bit harder to find really great content. But what we...
By really great content, he means pro-Trump stuff, anti-vaccination stuff, and people that think the virus is a New World Order Marxist takeover. By that, that's what he's meaning. So when he's complaining about an echo chamber, I don't know what he means. Anyway, I can't remember why I put that there for the masks thing. Oh, this is how they're policing it down in Guatemala. Oh, I need a bit more editing on that. That doesn't get the Hollywood. Pew, 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 pew. So there's the COVID-19 Citizens Patrol down in Guatemala. Lovely, baby. Lovely. Right, let's have a look at Old Man Stone. Now, God almighty, right, here's an epiphany for you, right? I touched on with the 5G stuff. how that links into your fundamental Christianity in the Western military-industrial complex. I don't know if you know where a lot of Western churches have a lot of their bars of where their stocks are and stuff. A lot of churches are heavily invested in the military-industrial complex, funnily enough. But now, bear that in mind with Roger Stone's, who Roger Stone is. I don't know if anybody has done their due diligence on Roger Stone. I mean, read the good and the bad, right? And what's the best way to explain him? He's a political operative, isn't he? I mean, that isn't even... He's a political operative. He's a campaign strategist. And he's been turning up on the independent news network of Alex Jones. Independently of strategising for Trump and campaigning for Trump, of course, he was just there independently talking about the truth that day. With Alex Jones, of course, they're not there campaigning for Donald Trump because they're independent, trustworthy news journalists. Anyway, and now Donald Trump's just let his best pal out of jail.
Ended before it started. It shouldn't have started, and if it did, it should have ended immediately because they found, as you know.
Why wouldn't a mafia don let one of his pals that got him elected out of jail?
Went on for 2 years
of course
or longer. And no, I did. I'm getting rave reviews for what I did for Roger Stone, and he frankly is going to go and now appeal his case. He had a jury forewoman who hated Roger Stone and who hated probably me, but she went on a false pretense, and he wasn't given a fair trial. It's not a fair trial. He wasn't given another trial. Should have been given another trial. I won't say more. I won't talk about the judge. I'm not going to. Why would I ever talk about a judge? But
why would I ever talk about a judge? But I'm going to go and talk about him right here, right now.
This was a judge that gave, I believe, solitary confinement to Paul Manafort.
Why would I talk about a judge?
Solitary confinement. So these are things that happened, and if you look at President Bush, President Clinton, President Obama, take a look at what they did. Frankly, it's a very unfair. Roger Stone was treated very unfairly, in my opinion, and so were many others on this side. In the meantime, you have the other ones who are admitted lying before. They admitted they lied before Congress. They leaked classified information, which is something you just can't do. And what are they doing? So we'll see what happens. But no, we're getting rave reviews for what I did. Okay.
So there's old man Trump. Yeah.
Commute the sentence of his longtime friend and advisor Roger Stone on Friday, sparing him from prison. Stone was convicted of lying under oath to lawmakers investigating Russian interference in the 2016 election and had been due to report to a federal prison in Georgia by Tuesday. Upon hearing the news, Stone was grateful to the president.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for giving me the offer. Thank you for saving my life, because I don't think at my age and in my medical condition I would have survived in a COVID-infested...
You ever remember watching like Jim Henson stuffs and the puppets and all that? I don't know if he's know the Muppets. They're puppets. So they'll always have one hand, because the other hand would be their mouth. Roger Stone has genuinely got a hand like a Muppet. I'm not joking. Think of a Muppet.
Prison.
Democrat.
Hold on, let me show you. Just I want to prove to yous. Let me see. Is this going to do it for me? Oh no, I know where I'll get it. I can't remember their name. The two old men. There we go. Sure they had a hand. Nah. They do have hands.
What was that? It's called
Look,
the medium
Roger
sketch.
Stones.
The medium sketch? Yeah, it wasn't rare and it certainly wasn't well done. Hey, what are you doing?
See if one's better.
I dropped my gum. Hey, lady, would you toss my gum up? You could have taken it out of the wig first. There's something wrong with this hearing aid.
The one, they actually look like Old Man Stone as well. Oh. Look, he's doing the rounds, man, and thanking everybody. Shit, where was he? Alright, it was here, I think. Like, I honestly think this isn't Roger Stone, this is a puppet.
Thank you for giving me the first. Thank you for saving my life, because I don't think at my age and in my medical condition I would have survived in a COVID-infested prison.
Democrats quickly criticized Trump's actions, including Chairman of the House Intelligence Committee Adam Schiff, who tweeted, quote, "With Trump, there are now two systems of justice in America, one for Trump's criminal friends and one for everyone else." Previous instances of Trump's use of this executive clemency have often benefited his allies and well-connected political figures.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock, that's what you do. You let your pals out of jail. And there's the sun. Now, this to me is very telling. Now, maybe I'm seeing shit that isn't there. Very possible. Maybe I'm seeing shit that is there. Who knows? My point is, some of yous may not know that in the last year or two, maybe 3 years, started touching base with Joe Rogan for the first time. I was very late to the game with Joe Rogan. And the novelties wore off a wee bit now, and touch base every now and again. Anywho, point being is listening to him and sort of I have no problem with Joe Rogan either, by the way. I just fail to believe his narrative that he's independent and not shilling for Trump or putting a positive spin on cool right-wing conservative politics. It's blatantly obvious to me that the guests he does and does not have on. And I've listened to him a few times and people have asked him, "Where'd you get your news from, man?" and all that kind of stuff. And he's talking about people's names who I forget, but I'm subscribed to them. If they came up, I'd remember their names. Talk about them sometimes. But anyway, this is one of them. So he gets a lot of his politics from the Common Sense show, right? Stone, straight out of Compton, straight out of jail. And he's doing the rounds. Well, obviously he's been on Alex Jones' show. I do not know that, but I do know that. Does that make sense? I haven't seen him. I haven't heard that he was been on Alex Jones' show, but I would put money if I had it on him being on Alex Jones' maybe show first and foremost. Also, he's now doing the rounds amongst all his nearest and dearest online. Now remember, Roger Stone never even pretends to be some sort of a truth teller, truth seeker, freedom fighter. He's a political operative. That's what he is. That's his job. I'm now, by sheer coincidence and all independent and for the striving for the truth and all that, he's now doing the rounds of all the independent media who, funnily enough, for the last 4+ years have been propagating nothing but pro-Trump stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm seeing shit now. So, when I hear what's his face? Joe Rogan, saying that he gets some of his political news from the Common Sense show. I've never watched this much in my life. And then when I see Roger Stone turning up in one of the first media outlets to get a exclusive interview as the Common Sense show, I see like Roger Stone scratching this guy's back because they're good pals and helping each other out. Maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm not. And then, shit for a hat, he turns out on Mark Dicey's.
Roger Stone, longtime political consultant and former advisor to numerous presidents. President Nixon.
Yeah, they call him a political consultant, not political operative, right? But again, Mark Dice will try and pretend to be some sort of a fair and independent journalist. And he's sitting with one of Trump's campaign managers, one of Trump's campaign operatives, doing a interview almost as soon as he's out of jail.
President Reagan, President Trump, often considered to be the architect of the Trump campaign. And while I'm excited to have him on to talk about the current events, predictions of the future, there's a dark cloud hanging over this interview because Roger may have to go to prison in just a matter of days after getting ensnared in the Mueller investigation and not crossing his T's or dotting his I's on his statements. And I'm sure that he has plenty to say about that. So glad to talk with you, Roger. First of all, how are you?
I can't stand Roger Stone talking at all. As I said, he reminds me of one of the old men Muppets. But feel free to go and indulge. That's Old Man Stone. Now let's get to the proper stuff. So, war on China. War. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely making tons of fucking money. Oh yeah. Say it again. War. Yeah. What is it good for? Making fucking tons of money. That's a fact. Say it again. War. Yeah. What is it good for? Keeping people in power and making some money. Yeah. War. Yeah. What is it good for? Fucking up cunts that you don't want to be bigger than you. Yeah. Like the Chiners. Hey, I see what's China done now. Oh, right, now this is brilliant, because this is fucking Dabu, fucking 7. Zero hedge. I'm sorry if you do your due diligence on these outlets, you will know how laughable they are when people use them as reliable sources. But it's just the way the world's internet page can appear to be authoritative, because it's got them writing on a screen in a web page. So here is Zero Hedge, still propagating the absolute provable bullshit. Been dunked. It's been dunked. It's been dedunked and debunked 100 million different ways from Sunday. If that's the same. And it all came from I've got it in here somewhere. I've got it somewhere, don't worry. God, where have I put it? Trump's corona hoax. It all came from this dude. Now, funnily enough, which I think is in this slideshow, a lot of these people that have been bouncing about China, hooking up with the locals, just a wee local USA guy over there telling you how stinky China is all the time. Then I'm just a wee local, just a wee normal guy from America over there. Now his bullshit that I made up and mistranslated is now getting used as Trump as evidence that China leaked this virus from a chemical lab, which is bullshit. All these characters are now having to run out of China. And it's because they're just normal citizens, just there for the hookers and blow. Or is it because the penny dropped with China that they're actually information warriors out there bouncing about with their little cameras filming shit to try and make China look stinky? Not only that, giving Donald Trump the ability to sit up in the world theatre and say, I have seen evidence that the virus came from a Chinese weapons lab. And it's pure bumpkin by one propagandist on the YouTubes. Lao why? Exactly, mate. Why? Don't know where. Mom, I want to be when I'm older, Mommy. I want to go to China and tell everybody how bad the Chinese Communist Party is. You've been watching Captain Planet again, Lao why? Anyway, so this is where it comes from. And then to this day, you still have idiots parroting shit from Zero Hedge that Bannon's saying without any investigative about where these sources are and who these people are saying it. Number one, claim that this came from a weapons lab, traces back to this guy. Doesn't take a genius to figure out who he works for or where he's coming from. Number two, Bannon. Come on to fuck. Nobody takes him serious. It's not that nobody takes him serious. He's clearly got a clearly got a dog in the fight. So, sorry, yabba dabba dabba do 7, but keep going. R.I.P. Hong Kong, man. 60 minutes on.
Rest in peace, Hong Kong. It might sound like an over-the-top thing to say, but according to people who call the city home, the once thriving hub of Asia is now all but dead. And they blame the...
No, it's went back into China's hands. You know, China's took back an area of the world that the Western corporations, using pseudo-governmental powers that were given to them. Some could say that's fascism, straight up fascism, you know, when a corporation has governmental powers. And that's what created Hong Kong. That's who fucked that place up. It's a couple opium wars. You want this area of the world? We're going to turn your population into junkies. Have that. And now the people who propagated that opium war, killing people through chemical warfare, you'd have others a smack and die, become useless. Tried to economically ruin them with opium. Are now bouncing about going, oh, China's so fucking bad because they're taking this bit of land back after we kind of promised to give them it back in the first place. Take away politics and all that, or left-right politics and or communism versus capitalism, and I'm pretty sure we all understand China's claim to that area of the fucking planet. You know, it's theirs. I think they've got like 200 G. Oh, I think they've got history in that area of the world. You could take the age of America times 10, and it still wouldn't go anywhere near to maybe some of the historical links that Chinese people have to that area called Hong Kong now. Because you can go back a couple hundred years and where the British have already like enslaved the locals and they've now became part of the British clique. Can I now point to them and go, look, the locals, we were here first. We've got yellow people that love it. We're just the ones that are indoctrinated with the East India Corporation that took over that area of the world. There were some Portuguese as well that done it. Is it French? Well, it was the Dutch and Portugal. It was the Dutch and the Portuguese that helped us take over that area of the world. Predominantly the East India Corporation, but there was areas of Dutch and Portuguese colonialism. And the Portuguese had, I think there's still areas over there which are heavily, culturally speaking, very dominated by the Portuguese culture for obvious reasons. They colonised it. Anyway, let's see how else China stinks. Hong Kongers vote against new security laws. Hold on.
I do think it is my civil rights and my
responsibility
to come out and to represent myself and other people that have similar thoughts. And I don't think the government can represent us. So that's why I came out today. And I do hope that the international community would
I do hope the international community say this election bad, that one good. Okay, we need just the world police to just go around and tell us what election's good and what one is bad.
See how our solidarity and would stand with us and help us, hopefully.
Get out there and vote. Bad laws. It's said new power. China uncensored. China won't meet with us, says China, submits US, snubs US nuke meeting. This is one of those independent American guys that just independently turned up in China and independently wanted to run a YouTube channel all about how stinky China and the Communist Party was. And then he independently moans about, oh, the Chinese Communist State are spying on me as if I'm a spy. And now they're kicking me out. Well, if they're as bad as they said if they're as bad as you make them out to be, they would have rounded you up and chopped your head off and made you disappear, but that didn't happen. Apparently, because he's here.
So is China watching me? Well, let me show you a little something here, just to give you a taste of what's to come. You may be wondering why I have a picture of a woman exposing her bra over here. Well, we'll get to that, don't you worry.
It's a bit like why the Sun puts the tits on page 3. Everything's gravy after that, baby, you know? I don't know about you, I'm watching this to the end.
But
yeah, wee titillation for you there. Yeah. It's just the way I roll. I often flash a tit before trying to tell you why China's spying on you.
I would like to talk to you guys very straightforward, very honestly. What the things I talk about in my videos regarding China are always based on my own experiences. If they're not, then it's something that I know is absolutely true based on what I've seen. Again, based on my experiences. So let's talk about.
Yeah, I always love English-speaking guys. Tell me how honest they're being. Tell me how stinky China is and how they're only honest and they only tell you the truth.
How China, first of all, monitors, people like myself, foreigners in China.
Oh, foreigners. I don't know about you. I know millions of... That's a small exaggeration. I know lots of people who their family have went over and worked in China and all that. Teaching English and all sorts of jazz. And they've never reported any of these problems whatsoever. But guys bouncing about on motorbikes, secretly recording things and saying and pumping them out on YouTube, telling the Western world how stinky China is, might raise suspicions from a communist regime who thinks the West is out there to make them look bad, to try and overthrow their communist regime. It's just a wee inkling. Could this guy possibly be a spook? Could they? This is just an independent YouTuber with how many millions? How many? Oh, nearly a million subscribers. Only 750,000 subscribers. He must be real.
It depends on your nationality as to how much monitoring you are exposed to.
Australian or New Zealand? South African, sorry.
Into the African bracket, which is the undesirable bracket in China. And pretty much any country from the Middle East, Africa, and other parts of Southeast Asia, they get harassed a lot. Philippines, anything like that. But if you come from a developed first world country, be that Australia or America or, New Zealand or Canada, in the UK, all those kind of places, you tend to not actually get hassled. You do get monitored, though.
Ooh.
And by monitored, what I mean is you have an actual police person assigned to you in your district, and it's...
Would this be similar to contact tracing? I mean, like... Why they're monitoring you, I don't know. That's just a good excuse. But would this be similar to the way the West monitors people? I mean, is this guy delusional? Are people that delusional to think that what he's talking about China doing, and I have no doubt they do things like that, the West do exactly the same, if not on steroids, to suspicious Chinese people coming over here to try and work in Microsoft and the nuclear industry?
Their job to make sure that they know where you are at all times, more or less anyway. And the first time I found this out, of course, was when I was in my own apartment. And I was going down in the elevator and a plainclothes policeman started asking me a whole bunch of questions about me. And I didn't know who this guy was, and I just kind of ignored him.
In the UK, we have independent journalists from YouTube that will just come up in the street and just start asking you questions.
And I just said, hi, okay, whatever, and I walked away. Anyway, he came back later with a bunch of uniformed policemen to my apartment. This was back in 2006, end of 2006.
Fuck's sake, so you've been there for nearly, 16 years before you've been ran out of Dodge, before the pennies. They've been monitoring you for 16 years, and the pennies finally dropped.
Early 2007. So that's the first time I was actually privy to this. I then found out, because I didn't actually know, but I then found out that by law, as a foreigner, when you enter China within 24 hours, you must report to your local police station and you get something called a temporary residence permit, which kind of just looks like a
visa?
It's an information sheet that has all the information about you, your address, your age, your
A
height,
visa,
your eye
like,
colour, all that
like
kind
what
of stuff.
happens when you
Photo
come
of
over to
that
this
has to be
country, kind of
stamped
thing,
by the
for like
police.
China
And
and
it has like a notes section.
places
where
of
they
places
have
of
certain notes
suspicion
about you,
that we have.
that pertain to you. And what I found quite interesting is, when you leave China and come back in, you have to get it again. And this means even if you take like a day trip to Hong Kong and come back in, you're supposed to go to the police station. Not many people do. But when I had to renew my visa, I was actually changing to a different kind of visa. Every time that you go to apply for a new visa, you must provide this temporary residence permit along with all your other paperwork to the Public Security Bureau. And it was, I think, the second or third time I went to get this paper, I saw in the notes section, because by that time I could read Chinese, a lot of information about me which I had never told anyone. Things like I have a company in Hong Kong, because I did at the time. Me and a couple of friends had opened a company in Hong Kong, which, it's a failed idea, but we were trying to help people come to work in China and find work and things like that. And it had the name of...
Doesn't he sound like a spook to me? He was operating a company out of Hong Kong to try and get people that he vetted work inside China. But it didn't quite work out, so I started up a YouTube channel telling you how stinky China was.
My company, in the notes, it also had certain things written in there, like he can speak a little Chinese, he has a girlfriend, things like that. So it had some personal information there which I hadn't told, obviously the police. So that was a little bit concerning. But, I understand
But
where
how
I was
long is
living.
this?
I
Listen
had
to a wee
no
bit. I find it quite
illusions
interesting.
that I was not living in communist China, and you expect that kind of thing. And to be honest, the cops, at least the local police guy who's supposed to be keeping an eye on me, was a really chill guy. And you know what? The police in general in China are very chill and nice, and they won't really bother you or get in your face unless you are causing a problem or, you're...
That's something I witnessed being kind of true when you're looking at the riots in Hong Kong. The police in Hong Kong, which seem to be loyal towards the Chinese regime, seem to be very mellow in their approach towards the protesters and stuff. Hell of a lot more mellower than the West's approach. I genuinely noticed that.
I have to give that to them. Anyway,
maybe communist police
so
are better than
went on like
capitalist
this for a
police.
very long time. But every time there was some kind of an event going on, like I remember before the Olympics, for instance, in 2008, I got several visits in the middle of the night, sort of 11:30 midnight, by large groups of uniformed police who would come to my apartment and hammer on the door, like in the middle of the night, wake me up. I'd go to the door, answer the door. They'd burst into my apartment, start looking around, taking photos of me, asking questions and demanding to see my passport and things like this. And this happened multiple times. And it was very unnerving, of course. But again, I understood where I was and I understood why.
Yep, we understood that you're a wee bit of a spook. You're trying to run a company out of Hong Kong through and trying to get people you vet jobs inside China. What could possibly go wrong?
In China,
what's suspicious about that?
The idea of face kind of takes...
I don't know, sees a little boy growing up in South Africa, bet she his dream. Maybe when I grow old, I want to go to China and start up a company in Hong Kong to get people jobs in China. China's a shithole, a communist dictatorship. Why do you want to go to China? I don't know, Mum. I just always wanted to go to a communist dictatorship because I clearly hate the communist dictatorships, but I wanted to go there and work in one. It was my life dream. I always wanted... As a Rangers fan, I always wanted to work in the bar in a Celtic shop. So always what I wanted.
Takes prominence over everything else. So to lose face is probably the worst thing that can happen to you. So when you're trying to do something like have the Olympic Games happen in your country, the last thing you want is an undesirable mess of a foreigner walking around, giving your country a bad name. And that's why they tend to try to target what they consider the undesirable. So Africans and Middle Easterners and Indians and so on, and give them a hell of a hard time. Because they racially profiled. It's just part of China. They don't hide it. If you can understand Chinese, if you walk around, you know, you do hear a lot of sort of racially charged language depending on who you are. So even if you're white, you'll hear people either complimenting you or talking some nonsense, some kind of stereotypical thing they think about white people, and the same with black people, Indian people, etc. Because I have black friends and Indian friends and Middle Eastern friends, Pakistani friends, etc. And we used to walk around in Shenzhen doing photo shoots and things like that. And of course,
well, so what can we to take away from that then? Like, racial stereotypes are flung around in every corner of the globe. Probably every corner of the globe's no more racist than the other. You get ignorant arseholes everywhere and racial stereotypes flung about left, right and centre. Maybe it isn't a particular problem, maybe it isn't a particular problem in just one demographic of the human species. I don't know.
Of course, I was always out on the street filming, like every day. And so I would hear what the public has to say in general. And that's the beauty of...
Right, so you're just independently bouncing about, recording every day, hearing what the general public are saying. I mean, it's not as if Western intelligence services would be interested in what normal Chinese people are saying amongst themselves about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent stuff about the the Chinese Communist Party.
Shenzhen is it's such a melting pot of China. You get people from...
Anyway, so... call me crazy, like, I'm probably a lovely guy and all that, but I don't buy the narrative that he's just a wee independent YouTuber who just done a wee like, travel blog on China. I think a lot of these channels are self-evident that they're shelling like a villain. You, Beijing, a billion in South China Sea. China sanctions American politicians. So... China's been aggressive in its back garden because America's driving all its ships in a game of chicken towards them. That's pretty much what's happening. And then there's Trump's man in China. Anyway, so there's the war on China. Let's have a wee wander down a timeline of the 5G fear. I'm going to try and get out of here for 10 bells if I can. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So a lot of this is what came through today. So there was the Culture Secretary announcing the statement where all Huawei's infrastructure is going to be removed by 2021, I believe. After it's all back engineered and stole all the technology and all that. I don't know. I get a sneaky suspicion this dude might watch the show. But here's a perfect example of the evolution of an Ike lie. Here I will show you what was originally said by a so-called expert. Then we'll see how the Ike family changed that. Ike tards will never notice this little trick, or they're just used to it at this stage, as the Ike always twists everything. And
the whole mobile phone frequency range and going up into the millimeter waves was the cosmic quiet spot. There was basically no radiation on Earth before the last century, before 1900, in that frequency range. It was a quiet space. We've now got levels that we're exposed to daily, 10 to the power 18, 10 with 18 zeros after it, higher than they were just 120 years ago.
Right, now, again, sounds crazy. Oh my god, there's there's so much more radiation out there. Like, all radiation isn't the same. Some of it's harmful, some of it isn't. If you get your head around the science of that, you understand what he's saying there is like, oh my god, we're like, it's like complaining that we've got 1,000,000 times more water than we did 100 years ago and say it's going to kill us. I mean, it's water. It's not going to kill you. Doesn't matter how much water you dip yourself in, unless you drown, you're all good. And that's the same with certain radiation. And this is some of the kind of crap and experts that the 5G fucking fearmongers point to. And if you logically, objectively look at closely what they're saying, Ike's a really good example. That guy says so much, and none of it makes any logical sense or is backed up with any science, rhyme, or reason. It's all conjecture, wordplay, and memes. Share a link for that. You can go and check out the channel if you want to go and watch the other ones. Oh shit. God, get my chair out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Job's a good tune. Right. Huawei in the UK, what will the government do? Welcome them in, take their technology, help the Chinese to set the 5G network up in the UK, and then kick them out. That's what it's all about. Now, this is what I found interesting. Let me see if I can remember the timeline. Right, so this was just 5G and 5i stories between 2010 and 2018. And one of the first ones you can see pop up, it was in the general sphere, was from the Sydney Morning Herald. I don't know if you know where Sydney is. It's in Australia. A lot of people say that there's a lot of Chinese influence in Australia, let's just say. Some would say that maybe this is where these stories came from. Chinese intelligence sources in Australia, because it very much suits Huawei's agenda more than the Five Eyes agenda. But this was back in 2018, December 2018. This wasn't long after. This is only a few months after the 5G fear started getting propagated in the Truffer Industrial Complex, with women hearing buzzings in their head, getting the mental health team sent out to your house and everything, and Richie Allen parroting that shite independently, of course, on his website, on his radio show. And then it was published a year ago, but it was 2018, end of 2018. And I agree with this analysis. The Five Eyes cooked up the campaign to kill Huawei, and we're now witnessing it. And part of that campaign to kill Huawei was the Truther Industrial Complex 5G direct energy weapon fear, which is propagandized a certain percentage of this population, a demographic of this population, against 5G through some sort of a New World Order conspiracy, when the Five Eyes just wanted Huawei out. Anyway, so let's have a wee look at the timestamps. So this was 2010 to 2018. What was it that was interesting in here? Hold on, I'll just organise it a bit better. No, actually, there wasn't anything out between that. Oh no, hold on, that's what that was there. Right, so Singapore and Seoul, key players in Five Eyes spiring. This isn't related to 5G, but this was something out talking about partners in the Five Eyes. I know the Five Eyes just relates to 5 countries, but there's a lot of partners that are integrated into that kind of network. And obviously, like Seoul being South Korea, them very much being in the front line, literally with North Korea, and in turn China. So what was the date on that? That was 2013. They were talking about the Singapore and South Korea as key third players supporting the United States government's Five Eyes surveillance network. Now, what was this? This was 2018. And now what you can see now is with the search expanded to up to the end of 2018. This is when you see all the articles from the mainstream media. At the exact same time, Max Egan came back for Anarchapulco. It's in June or July, isn't it? I'm sure. It's their wee summer holiday get together for all the Truther Industrial Complex network members to go and buy each other's books. And he was coming back from that when he had maybe the direct energy weapon went into his head and gave him an epiphany again. But he had the epiphany that 5G was going to be the major thing in the next couple of years, the major battle in the next couple of years. And then a couple of years later, we have Huawei and 5G getting kicked out of the UK. Good job, Max. But at the exact same time as the online independent media is demonising Huawei and 5G. The mainstream media were doing it. The truth is always in the middle, isn't it? And you could look at exactly what was happening. It was part of the thumbscrews that were getting turned on China. So again, you can see there's the Sydney Morning Herald story. There's the New Zealand talking about how the Five Eyes partners met Huawei, how Five Eyes cooked up a campaign to kill off Huawei. Reuters, Five Eyes intelligence alliance builds coalition to counter China. I mean, this is like Reuters and stuff. So this is where being objective helps and not believing the talking heads. At this point, there would have been people just blindly believing Max Egan and his gremlins, and just blindly believing it because he projects some sort of authority as if he understands the technology behind 5G. But millions of people blindly believing this, where all you had to do was weigh up what was going on, look at the geopolitical situation, and counterweight some of the shite you're getting online with some of this news, and you might get a better inkling what was really going on. The 5 nations and the world's leading intelligence sharing network have been exchanging classified information on China's foreign activities with other like-minded countries since the start of the year, 7 officials and 4 capitals said. It's not even as if they're hiding this, you know. The increasing cooperation by the Five Eyes alliance grouping with countries such as Germany and Japan is a sign of broadening international front against Chinese influence, operations and investments. So again, this whole 5G thing wasn't hard to unravel, I don't believe. Let's see what ones I've got. This is 2007. It was 2017 5G. Next gen mobile photo network will be a convenient but expensive alternative. An Australian source tell me how bad 5G will be in 2017. And that's just up to 2018 again. So just like trying to trace when that story was getting propagated in the mainstream media with a simple Google search with some time parameters put in, and then run that side by side with the knowledge that you may or may not have at the timeline. It all started. The Truth Industrial Complex had the epiphany that 5G was the next thing that was going to kill us, and you can clearly see a correlation between the timing of that fear from the mainstream media and the Truth Industrial Complex media getting propagated. But anyway, that's what I see. Huawei to be frozen out of the UK 5G network from 2021. That's right, next year. And again, like, there's nobody question why everybody in the independent media and all the patriots and all that are obsessed with the same thing. There's nobody question that you're getting steered in the direction. But hey ho, everybody's an expert in 5G because David Icke told us so. I think it was David Icke. No, it was Max Egan. There's even 5G shows out there. Lots of people that aren't experts expertly telling you crazy stuff about 5G. Why did Britain ban Huawei? I have no idea. No idea. Jermaine Icke from Iconic lies about radioactivation levels. Unnatural London real-time army. David Icke. Right. I think what this guy's pointing out.
The implications of the technology we have.
That very earlier on expert that said 10 to the power of 18. Like, not explaining that the stuff that he's saying is 10 to the power of 18 is harmless bullshit. Right? Because, like, believe it or not, I've sat through experts who understand this stuff explaining this. I wouldn't be able to rhyme and repeat it myself because it's hard enough to understand it when an expert's talking about it. Never mind trying to examine it, tell you it all back and it making sense. But it'd be worthwhile actually touch base with some of the
independent scientists out there who will independently and objectively look at the fears and concerns in and around 5G, and not ones that are all linked to David Icke and their network, who will sell tons of their books. So what he's pointing at here is now that 10 to the power of 18, which is meaningless, just fancy words that expert said that makes them sound great, which means nothing. It's just background radiation, which isn't harmless, which is harmless, is now getting parroted with people who, again, don't understand what the expert said, but thinks it sounds dumb merchanty, because it's 9/11 times 100, and just go around and start repeating
staggering. I mean, one stat alone, if you take one stat
Jimmy
away
Ike?
from the film,
I have no idea.
is that we're now exposed every day to 10 to the power 18, which is 10 with 18 zeros.
No, it's not. It's 9/11 times 100. Get it right. That's what the expert said. He said it's 9/11 times 100. Fear, doom and gloom. And now it's getting parroted left, right and centre. He'll parrot it, then other people will parrot it, and other people will parrot it. It all point back to the same expert, and it doesn't even mean nothing. The expert was meaning 10 to the power of 18 of nothing is still nothing. Doesn't mean it's going to kill you. It's just big figures to put the fear of God into. Literally the fear of God. That's how they operate. Goodbye, Huawei. C'est la vie. This is a trailer from the new Ike 5G. Oh God, have we got a 5G documentary? My lord, there's people wasting them time trying to prove to you that a fucking non-existent fear is there, and nobody questions why they're doing it. Fuck me. How many bullshit fucking stories do people need to fall for before they realise these people are filling their heads up with bullshit stories? Nibiru ain't coming, folks. Press for Truth gets shut down. And this is the video that he's doing that got him shut down. So it must tell you so much big secrets that it's been allowed to be re-uploaded to YouTube and it's not getting shut down. Or was it this guy's channel had so many strikes and guideline things on it that this was the final straw that got it shut down, because all of these COVID stuff, which if he dealt with it properly, you'd have probably still kept your channel. But anyway, so I think press for Truth's videos down. You can get the details there if you want to go and watch it. Yeah, and it's all wrapped. A lot. It's wrapped up in the 5G, COVID, conspiracy. Just the para, and it even goes into Pizzagate and how it's real and craziness. Huawei ban. British government orders removal of Chinese tech firm after allowing them to install quite a lot of the infrastructure. Thank you, China. Anyway, let's have a wee look. I don't know if you've seen David Icke is now selling you investment opportunities and stuff. Making investments that actually make you money. That's strange. Like, see, last time I looked into investing my barrel loads of money, I went to an investment company and they said, do you know what we do? We take your money and don't make you money. That's so strange. And I was like, all right, you're not for me. You know, I want one of these investment companies that make me money. No, I don't want one of these ones that don't make me money. In fact, can you recommend one of your colleagues, one of these investment companies that actually makes me money instead of loses me money, you know? Oh, that's right. I couldn't find an investment company that told me, we're not actually one of these investment companies that make you money. That was what they all said. Strange that, isn't it? But hold on, this is coming from Max Egan. This guy knows that 5G's direct energy weapons. He's not even sure his name's 5G, but you're going to take a recommendation of where to put your money. Doesn't even know if the Earth's flat or his name's Max Egan. Doesn't know anyway. It's not easy in these times, so give me your money. Would you like to get through the world's sharpest investors on uneven opportunities in the market? Get thoughts, sorry. We'll give you no nonsense, no bullshit advice you will never get from the mainstream financial industry. Mate. So this is the alternative financial industry. Oh, lordy lord. We let you in on the exact same unique and current investment ideas that we are investing in with our own money. Alright, so it's a Ponzi scheme. Right, so they're investing their money in this investment fucking Ponzi scheme fucking thing, and they want you to invest your money in the exact same thing that they're investing their money in, which would be this Ponzi scheme. I've just deciphered the whole fucking Ponzi scheme. Yes, we are so fucking... We've got so much confidence in our money making us money, but we're going to put your money where we're putting our money. It's called a Ponzi scheme. It's called My Pocket. Right? And then you get 10 people to give you money saying that they're going to get money, and then they people get 10 people to give them money, and boom shakalaka. It's one big fucking chain letter Ponzi scheme. Bullshit con artist financial scam. Because their abacus is bigger than your abacus. My lordy. Max Egan. Yep. I mean, you should have stuck with conning people out of money with world citizen scams and all that, mate. That's a bit more honourable than this shit. You're an intelligent person, so you will understand fast and huge value this will give you. You're so intelligent that you need a picture of a fucking pug in glasses to make you want to do part with your money and invest in this company. I don't know about yous. A pug in glasses always says sensible investment opportunities to me. It always says, I'm not putting my money in charlatans online who want to sell you pictures of dogs and glasses. No, I'm on full confidence. Join over 20,000 money managers, analysts, and private investors who receive analysts and asymmetric opportunities thanks to the distorted markets we are navigating. Sounds like a pile of shite to me. Sounds like a big Ponzi scheme. No hype invest. Reach for the lying inside yourself. What would put you off an investment company that uses a lion? Is this a lion? Or is it an honest lion? No nonsense. No hype. No nonsense. Hey, I don't want any hype. I don't want no nonsense. That's what we get from Max Egan, isn't it?
Huh? Speckles. Hey, Hutch.
Hi, David.
There's Mama hiding behind the branch. Well, folks, they certainly...
Oh, well, folks, they are the big uber demon monster that I can't really name. It's just they're doing this week, they're doing that. They want to facial recognize you everywhere you go, while at the same time, they want you to wear a mask everywhere you go. Makes no sense, but don't question it, because they're doing it to you, okay? I don't know, maybe I'm just too detuned now. I can't listen to people who just ambiguously say they all the time.
Seem to be taking things to the next level with the lockdown. They're definitely trying to push the second wave here in Australia. Being told there's hot spots in New South Wales now. We may have to shut the Queensland borders again, even though they only just opened them. And it's
even though they just opened them. So again, try and follow the logic here. They want to keep you locked down, so they open too early. But they done it all. They opened early and then they shut it down, and they all planned this. They never really wanted to open it up. Well, it isn't that the politicians are under pressure for business because they want to fucking make money again and they value profit over people's fucking lives. And I've tried to do a balancing act before, letting other people die and allowing their pals with businesses to make money. Now, it's more simple than that. The big ambiguous they.
It's remarkable how they opened them.
It's remarkable how they do this.
They gave us this big message that the borders are open now. So you have to get a new pass for the borders. How are the borders open if you need a pass? I mean, since they opened the border, it's actually a little bit more difficult to get through than what it was when the border was closed. And people are kind of okay with it. I don't know how they're managing to do this to people's mentality, but they are. But it's going to the next level, folks. It seems to be going to the next level anywhere. They've mandated the wearing of masks in Croatia. I got a message from a friend. Shopping centres and a lot of places, you've got to wear a mask to go into these places. Of course, not in some other places.
What do you do when you're like, you've got a tash or whatever and it starts getting that jakey way where you've got like fucking nicotine stains on your tash? Can you bleach it or something? You can sort that out though, can't you? See if you had nicotine stains, did you not sort it out?
It's funny how the virus works that way. It seems to infect you in some places, but doesn't infect you in others. So you're required to wear masks in certain businesses, but not in others.
I know, man. Does this get it? Hold on, mate. Somebody needs to introduce him to Spock. Just a wee bit of logic. In fact, let's get High Impact Flicks on and do the fart test again, right? Some people out there think that wearing a mask to protect you against the virus is like wearing a pair of underpants to protect you against a fart. Right? I'm all in that. Who's going to let me fart in their face bareback? Doesn't he want to wear a mask? See? Masks work, folks. Masks work.
Remarkable how that works, folks. It's a remarkably intelligent virus. They are also mandating the wearing of masks in the UK, I believe, from July 24th or July 25th. It's happening, folks. They're trying to push it everywhere. They're trying to do it here in Australia, but a lot of people...
It's happening. They want to read your face. They want a worldwide 5G super network to recognise your face. But they also want you to wear a mask. It makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason or logic to the shite I'm spewing. If I logically even believed in one of these fucking things, so many other things I believe in would just... But hey, fuck that. They're doing it to me.
People just aren't going along with it. I mean, I'll personally never be going along with it. But they're saying there's all sorts of hot spots and outbreaks and areas where the virus is becoming more prevalent. So we may have to lock down places. What they're not telling you, folks, is that the more people who test positive...
I thought it was fake.
Well, the death rate doesn't go up. So the more people who test positive for this pandemic, while the death rate stays the same and the death count stays the same, indicates how non-lethal this alleged virus actually is. Now, the more people who test positive...
This alleged virus, but there's people testing positive, but the people that are getting proof positive proves that they... I mean, he can't even keep the train of thought in his head straight. He either believes the virus is fake or it's not. If the virus is fake, then how do you... what logic... What are these tests finding people positive of? I mean, am I the only one who investigates the logic of these people's thinking and it just all falls to shit?
The lower the percent of death goes. I mean, it was 0.03% to 0.05%. I mean, it's probably getting lower and lower and lower.
Are these all the lying government stats that are now telling the truth?
Soon it'll be 0.5%, not just 0.5%. I mean, you know, it's ridiculous, folks. They don't tell you this. They just expect you to...
Hello, Max? Hello, Max. Do you know the thing that you're saying they don't tell you? You just showed us a screenshot from their own website telling us that. Hello, Max. Hello, Max. The thing that you're saying they are not telling us is on the screenshot of their own website that you're showing us. Are you fucking crazy? Are you just like, have you slipped into a delusion that you can't see The thing that you're saying they're not telling us is on the screenshot of the lying stats from the lying government that proves the point that you're saying that they aren't telling us. The death rate that you're going on about that they're not telling us is coming from the numbers that can't be trusted. Because it doesn't exist, or they're getting false positives, or whatever shite it is that you're how you spin this. Oh my lordy, lordy, lordy. Fucking... crazy.
Percent to 0.05%. I mean, it's probably getting lower and lower and lower. Soon it'll be 0.5%, not just 0.5%.
That's the official government website stats.
I mean, you know, it's ridiculous, folks. They don't tell you this.
They don't tell you this. They don't tell us what, Max? The thing that you just told us that you got from the government website that you say they don't tell us. Fuck me. I mean, seriously, how is this guy coming up with these things? I don't get it.
They just expect you to buy into it. The fact that the pandemic is terrible because we're getting more people testing positive. Well, if you stop testing people, they won't test positive. And how do you know what they're even testing positive for? I mean, as I showed you on the last report...
Hello, Max. Hello, Max. I'll enlighten you, mate. I'll enlighten you. Do you know how they know what they're testing for? See the... Oh, shit, I'm going to fuck this up. I'll get it. I'll probably get it along the right... in the right ballpark. Right, I think it's the genome. See the genome of this virus? China managed to isolate it or fucking map it or genome it. Whatever they do to establish what the genome or something is. And then the scientists in China shared that genome with all the independent research laboratories of the entire fucking world, including in Western countries that are trying to, at every point, screw China over right now. Now, these Western scientists, some of the most longest established researchers in viruses and all that in the world, got that genome and went, okay, we can now make a test for that. And do you know what they done, Max? They did. Now, sorry to get too technical on you as kind of layman's terms, but that's how they know what they're testing for, Max.
There was a...
So, they aren't telling us the stuff that they are telling us, and this guy can't understand how they know what they're testing for. I mean, he can't even understand how they know what he tests for, and he wants you to believe he's an expert in viruses?
An article, a little piece of a section of a video by Jeff Berwick where he showed you the Australian government's own guidelines and their own announcement that this COVID test is non-specific. It doesn't just test for COVID. It will identify any type of RNA virus, any type of RNA bacteria in your body as COVID. It could...
That better, Alan? Oh, yeah, hold on. That looks like a nice wee Illuminati pyramid. Don't need to do that. I was what's the word I'm looking for? I was inspired by Old Man Stone earlier on. He was wearing some funky headgear, so I thought I'd get mine on. Anyway, sorry, Max. Right, you don't understand how scientists can share genomes on a virus to create a test so people can test for it. Let's see what else you can't understand.
Test you positive for measles and they will simply say it's COVID.
I don't believe that to be accurate. But this is coming from a man who doesn't understand how they can test for COVID in the first place. So I wouldn't believe him on that because it's not really pointing any evidence, is it?
So that's what they're doing, folks.
That's what they are doing, folks.
It's a scam.
What's a scam, mate, is you trying to say that they, whoever they are doing this, and you're telling us they aren't telling us this information and then using their own information to prove they aren't telling us it. Something like that.
And if people don't wake up to it, then we're going to be completely in a new world very soon, folks. I mean, we kind of are already. And there's no way this can be called a new normal because there is nothing normal about anything that we're seeing. Lots of other things coming out as well. I suppose a lot of people have noticed the storm that's been created on Twitter and I believe on Facebook as
Fuck, I thought he was talking about harp there.
well regarding Wayfair furnishings, where it seems that they may be child trafficking folks. Cabinet.
Oh, lordy, 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 man. See the Reddit trolls that create all this shit, man. I got a lot to answer for, man. Well, funny as fuck the stuff they can get away with. Apparently one of the wardrobe women actually turned up and went, no, I'm a real lady. I'm not in a wardrobe getting sold by pedos in pizza boxes.
So you can buy a cabinet, which is like a $200 cabinet, and you can see it there for sale, you know, $200 or whatever. But then there's a special one with a special name, like an Annabelle cabinet, which is exactly the same cabinet, which is suddenly worth $14,000. How does that work? You're buying this cheap furnishing, throw pillows, like a throw pillow.
Oh my lord. Have you ever searched on eBay? Hold on, let me see. Alright, let me do this. Let me see if in fact, I'm going to do some pedageddon searching right here, right? Let me think, what's a good example of this? Right, aye. Let's see if we can find some pedageddon hoovers, right? You might think I'm mental, but I will prove to you that they're selling hoovers with children parts in it. These are going to think I'm mental. Hold on, Hoover isn't working. I'm mental. They're not fucking selling them. Right, hold on. What the hell was this? Let's see. Oh no, it's going to prove to me I'm an absolute liar. Where's the bloody... Let me see if I can find a Hoover for over £1,000 or 10 grand. Clips. Right, here we go. Oh, right, I've got an example. I have got an example. Good. Oh, I was going to pushing some buttons there. Right, I thought I was going to prove me to be a Max Egan there, but no. Thankfully, I've managed to show you that I've got boom-proof evidence. Paedophile hoovers. Hoovers with clearly baby parts stuffed inside the squeegee parts or something, right? Because I don't know why. I really don't. I can't explain why. I've just noticed this happening in the past. When you're like searching for things and you look for the highest value, you'll find like things you can get for 60 quid on eBay for $10 million. Right? I'm thinking it's maybe people from foreign... This is me being serious here. I think it's people, marketing folk, who you rely on people's stupidity or inability to exchange currencies and stuff like that. You know, like, I don't know, what's the best way to explain it? Like, if you go to India or something, like $1 million rupees can only buy you, like, a bag of crisps, you know? So, like, $1 million rupees in India doesn't sound that much, but $1 million rupees here, what, 1 million? Am I explaining myself properly here? Right, but so here you can get some real expensive hoovers. I don't think they come with baby parts in them. Those ones look like industrial, maybe they're actually worth the money. But look at this, right, here's just a wee vacuum cleaner box thing, right? What the hell? Must be worth... I don't know. Let's be very generous. 30 quid, £50, 60, 80 if it's like magic in it or something. There you get it for... Oh, it's Australian dollars. Right, but still, what, nearly 6 grand, right? I don't think they're smuggling babies in that. Call me crazy, but maybe we should start a Reddit post saying that they're squeezing baby's blood into squeegees on eBay. And look, it's clearly a big paedophile ring. They've got a fucking 99.7% approval rating. They've not fucking had to send many baby parts back. Right, so do you see how bizarre this fucking this lack of understanding of how something can cost 10 times more than it should Maybe it's maybe it's people, maybe it's very clever people on the internet taking advantage of idiots who click buttons and buy shit, kind of not knowing the value of the things that they're buying. Maybe that's what it is. I do not know. I don't think these wardrobes have babies in them. In fact, I think if you even used a bit of discretion, scratched your nut, you would find that it's been pretty much fairly debunked. Hold on, I'm going to go for the duck. Give myself a wee beak. Well, that's more my style. I don't know how to do it properly. But anyway, so there was a wee bit of online investigative. So you can run with that. You can go and prove to people that the internet, the Illuminati on YouTube are selling on eBay. Sorry, are selling baby parts and hoovers. Now you go on eBay and you can do that with numerous items, lamps, computers is a good one. You can get computers that are no way worth 20 grand and all that, and they're in there for 20 grand, and they're maybe like a couple of grand most, but you'll see them advertised for 20 grand and stuff. Why, I do not know, but I do not jump to the conclusion it's because there's baby parts in them, but I'm just crazy. So there was that
is worth $10,000. How is a throw pillow worth $10,000, a Zodiac throw pillow?
Well, if somebody's willing to pay $10,000 for it, then it's worth it. Another example of this is Facebook adverts. They're really good at getting at your heartstrings. If you ever notice people that are heavily influenced by adverts and how they buy so much shite off of Facebook, scandalous. Take every item on the Facebook tries to advertise to you and stick it in eBay, and you'll find that it's probably on a 10 to 20% markup. I've noticed that before in the past. So, for whatever reason, these listings have bizarro prices for furniture on them. I don't think it's anything to do with children trafficking. But call me crazy. Call me crazy. Anyway.
Because it happens to have a child's name on it who is a missing girl. A few people have picked up on this and said this appears to be a child trafficking ring.
Okay, Sherlock, let me look at the evidence. Internet listings with prices I don't understand. Internet listing with a name of a wardrobe similar or identical to a missing girl. Okay, brains, that means there's an internet traffic children ring, just like Pizza Hut. Ding! I don't know why I want to come to that conclusion. These people are geniuses. Absolute geniuses. Sherlock Holmes, stand back, motherfucker. Max Egan, Popeye's coming through. He's got everything fucking
where people are able to purchase abducted kids through Wayfair furnishing. The media, of course, has jumped right on it and said, oh, it's a ridiculous conspiracy theory. There's journalism for you folks. I mean, what happened to true journalism? Back in the old days when this sort of thing was was reported, when someone discovered something like this, a journalist would look at it and say, well, gee, that's interesting, and they'd look into it. Now that doesn't happen.
I must be a journalist. I must be a journalist, Max, because you know what? I did look at that and go, here, that is interesting. But because my head isn't in the fucking filth pit of conspiracy, my head didn't go to paedophilia. Because I'm no bouncing about obsessed with pedos. I don't think I don't think they are running the world. Demonic pedophiles. And that's why I can logically think of why there's exorbitant prices on bits of shit rather than a paedophile trafficking ring. Why don't we crowdfund? Why don't we do a crowdfund? Hold on, there's a scam and a half. Got a cracker, right? Pens and paper. Set up a website selling pieces of shit that are worth a couple of pennies for thousands of pounds. Name them after missing kids. start up a Reddit blog saying that this is an internet trafficking site, then do a crowdfunding to entrap the child trafficking ring, crowdfund 12, as much as you can, £1 million if you're as good as London fake, US fake, London real. Crowdfund £1 million to buy that 20 quid bit of furniture for £1 million. Buy it off yourself for £1 million, and then dance like Brian Rose. She's my baby. I can't people out 100 million. I can't believe it. Ah, man, perfect scam. I'm telling you. No, I'm saying that jokingly. There's fucking people out there must be doing that. Must be. A cracking idea. Who wants to fight the New World Order paedophile furniture business? New World Order paedophile furniture business down with a paedophile IKEA paedophile ring. All I need to do is crowdfund to buy my own bit of furniture off me for an exuberant amount of money, and then just come out and go, April Fools! Never broke any law, never done anything. Advertised a piece of shit furniture for an exuberant price, and somebody was stupid enough to fucking buy it. Man, that's a fucking perfect scam. All you do is need to convince people that you're running some sort of a paedophile fucking ring by the power of high prices and names. It's a perfect scam. Perfect fucking scam. I cannot believe I never fucking thought of that. Right, that's it. Below, I'm off. I'm retiring. I'm away to buy some cheap furniture, relist it on eBay with exorbitant prices, then make up some YouTube conspiracy videos saying it's a child, it's children trafficking scam. Maybe they grind the children up and put them in the chipboard. I don't know. Alright, come on, Max. Come on, cheer me up, man. This is really...
When this sort of thing gets made public, what the media does is they call the government and goes, oh my God, what do you want us to say about this?
No, they probably spent 2 seconds like me and went, this is so fucking batshit lunatic crazy that it's not even... People will laugh at us if they think we took this serious. Plus, it's probably their pals that are fucking seeing if there's idiots stupid enough to buy £20 bits of furniture for 20 grand. I think these are the kind of adverts that go to Saudi Arabia, you know, and the Saudi Arabians, hey, oh, I like this furniture from IKEA, 20 grand, and must be a steal, go buy that for me.
And then they say what the government tells them to say. A normal journalist would find this intriguing and want to look.
No, a normal journalist would take the 30 seconds I did, take out there, and then laugh at you and go, oh, this guy looks like Popeye and fucking believes in direct energy weapons. Leave him alone.
Look into this and want to see if there was anything behind it. They wouldn't respond with the very first response saying it's a ridiculous conspiracy theory about Wayfair furnishing. Oh yes, people wouldn't pay $14,000 for a $200 cabinet, but guess who would? The government. You can talk them into paying thousands of dollars for stuff which is unnecessary. So they're basically saying, well, the government's just wasting your money. They're spending $14,000 on a cabinet you can buy for $200. So that's what they're doing with your tax money, and they're happier saying that than even looking into it and considering the possibility. But this is...
My God, man. Sky's away. Stewie, I don't ban every name. Just ones that I'm suspicious about. But if a genuine channel know that's been banned, just give us a hit. Drop us a link, an email or something with the YouTube URL, and I can take care of it. No problem at all. Anywho's.
Child trafficking, which is very much what it appears to be, folks. Now, when they're first...
It appears to be children trafficking. Please, even just put into YouTube and you'll see even fucking batshit crazy YouTubers like him who've like understood it, it's a pile of shite, just can't understand exuberant prices for a fucking... Kind of like... These are the small minds that like thought fake snow was real, you know? Ah, fuck, I've had enough of that shit. Right, that was Peter Geddon to the max. Right, what's this shit? Oh, it's back to John Wedger. and the clamber, and the you know, there's people that are allowed to talk about Linda Mackenzie. Nah, I don't know who that. Try to remember. But anyway, Shiva Burton doesn't like to point out that doesn't like me pointing out that Shiva Burton is part of a controlled network who are abusing innocent children, not by fucking them, not by hitting them with sticks, but by spying on them and sharing their information amongst random window lickers online. Proving why all this sort of information has 10 ton and barrel loads of fucking regulations about idiots accessing it and using it for their own fucking purposes to protect innocent children. And she doesn't like to be pointed out that she's part of the network of Michelle Bingham, Flo Destroyer, Mike Dice, and all the rest of them who use secret Google Drive files to share information on innocent kids. Fucking creeps. God, I need to fucking... I look like old fucking fishwife for that. Hang on, man. And for some reason, me pointing that out, and I don't know about you, I just randomly go around making stuff like this up, you know? It's exactly what I do. Don't know. It's eerily spot on about the 5G shit, man. But anyway, so these are like some of the bullcrap. I'll move it the way of this. And these are all just the recent live shows where she doesn't like to be reminded that she was collaborating with Michelle Bingham in the sharing of innocent children's files amongst a bunch of Fruit Loops online. They then use that information to try and drive people fucking crazy, bounce around threatening to get people's kids took off them while sitting there thinking they're fucking Mr. and Mrs. Good Guy. Who are all now trying to run for the hills to protect their employment. And rightly so. I think so. But it's just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. But hey, at least I know they're still watching. I mean, what kind of fucking sad sacks relentlessly, religiously watch shows continuously over years in periods after getting flung out, told to fuck off, ran out of Dodge, and they continuously still watch it, keeping it in their little creepy databases. Oh, he's talking about them, he's talking about her, he's talking about us. Bunch of freaky fucking creeps who think they're fucking part of a big cool network when in reality they're not. But what's your space, man? Karma is a bitch. Now, let's have competition about insanity. I don't know about yous. I'm fucking definitely nuts. So, let's play the Insane Game! Let's go! Okay, round one. Who is more insane?
Got scared, and the first thing they do when they get scared about something is to try and stop it.
I'm gonna try and stop this, man. I'm scared about this secret information coming out.
Evening Standard. Yeah. Evening Standard. Listen, yeah.
And the first thing they do when they get...
Right. All I'm genuinely going to try and do is understand what he's on about. I mean, like, you know how when you tell a story? I walked into a house, there was a cat there, it wore a red hat, it then farted, the cat's fart was so stinky, I had to leave the house. Beginning, the middle and end. You understood what a story was about. It was about me walking into a house, the cat had the hat on, it was red, it farted, and I had to leave. Clear as fucking day, right? I mean, that took me, what, 10, 15 seconds? In the time that I've watched this guy, and I'm not shitting you, I've genuinely tried to understand where he's coming from, because the whole bird code thing and all the stuff he shows, it's kind of like half interesting until you ask him to explain it, and then he just can't. He can't or he won't. Right? I've asked him numerous times, and he just points you in the direction of other videos which make about as much sense as the last, and it's just an everlasting merry-go-round of random numbers and letters that mean nothing, but it's a bird code to him. So it's a secret code only he understands.
Scared about something is to try and stop it.
Yeah, I'm
Listen,
scared.
yeah, even in standard, even in standard employees, any of you, from the top to the bottom of the bird cage, all the shit in the bottom of the bird cage, you don't clean out because you quite like it. Any of you from the top to the bottom of that bird cage, in your company, right? I'm going to open my live chat, if any single one of you says you can come on my live chat, right? Come on my live chat, head to head, just me, the insane one, the one who's lost his mind, and is a conspiratard, and people try and link him with Flat Earth all the time and David Icke and shit, but he never even mentions that shit ever. RR versus any single one of you, from the cleverest person that works at your company to the dumbest T-boy. Right? That's how confident I am that I'm not insane. I think that you lot, I think you lot are the insane ones, thinking you can get away with this shit. Listen, your chemtrails and the shit you put in the water, perhaps, and all the propaganda you do, and everything else, and all the coding and subliminal MK Ultra shit and the frequency manipulation, right? It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me, and I've shown you why it doesn't affect me. Because my genetics are not the same as most people's.
He's the Incredible Hulk.
And I've
Hulk with gamma rays, I
shown
think it
evidence
was.
of it, and no one's proved me wrong yet, and no one seems to want to talk about it, do they? And when I start talking about it on other people's channels, live chats, then they have to call in for backup and try and fucking shift the conversation elsewhere. So any one of you, from the Evening Standard, in fact any one of you from any of your media news groups wants to talk to me, come on my channel live, head to head. Let's fucking do it. Let's do it. Me versus you. And I'm not getting paid a penny. I've got no script. I'll just do it all off the cuff. No problem. Who's insane now?
Mate, I'm going to still argue, man. You would still win the insane stakes in that one. But just because you're talking to yourself here, there's pretty insane.
In a bit.
In a bit, mate, in a bit. The DDs, the 44 operations, the S30. Anyway, I thought we'd play the insane game at the end there. Like, I don't know about you, I know why I'm not affected by the gamma rays. It's because of the gamma rays, my genetics are different. Anyway, I enjoyed that. An alternative look at the alternative media. Is that allowed? Is that allowed? Anyway, thanks one and all for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Tune in next Tuesday for another Not the Infowars nightly news. Make sure you thumbs it up, you share it with your friends, your family and your foes. Help the channel and the show grow. Remember, I'm digital busking. It's all available and accessible free of charge. I'm going to do such a good job. You find value in what I do and use your spare change, not your life savings, in the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. And a mega thanks to those who do. Tune in next Tuesday for another Not the Infowars nightly news. Subscribe and bell up for everything in between now and then. I think the screen actually held up not too bad tonight. Got a few foggy areas, but it wasn't too bad. So thanks to everybody in the chat room. Alan, Jesus, Stewie in the evening, guys. Magnet, Flying Irish, Gas Mask, Miss Spice in the evening, guys and girls. Thanks for joining, Stewie, Gas Mask. Beard of Canada, Devon, Punk on the Whiskey, how you doing, Punk? Richie, how you doing, Richie? Hopefully you enjoyed it, my man. Apple Charlotte, hopefully you're all good, cha. Hope you're keeping well. Victoria, Miss Spice, Son of Ray, the Highlander, John Menzies was in. Sorry, John, I'm going to see you earlier on. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. Hope you're doing all good. So there you have it. That's it for another week. Hopefully you enjoyed, as I said, an alternative look at the so-called alternative media. And I'll catch you next week. Have a good one, you all. Enjoy the corona madness. Make sure you're beating people up in supermarkets over fucking bits of cloth over your mouth. And anybody that doesn't think masks are worth wearing, ask them if you can fart. You can do a bare back fart into their mouth. See what they say. That was my favourite bit. Alright, you boob tubes. Catchies.
Clips, clips.
Remember, citizens, subscribe and hit the bell. Ding! Everything will be well. Catchies.